Big second half on the way here at the Select Security Stadium. Widnes Vikings 12, Hull FC 14. After a breathless first half and a great comeback from the black and whites of the KC Stadium. Lee Radford will be well pleased, maybe the best pleased of the two coaches. And Richard Horn alongside him, just receiving a suite from the Hull coach. A celebratory suite at half-time after that first half performance. So, who's going to win this in the second 40, Mike?
Well, I think you'd have to say that the black and whites will start favourite, mainly due to the fact that if the Widnes side defend like they did in the last 20 minutes of that first stanza, they're going to allow quite a few tries through. I don't know what happened. They lost their shape. All of a sudden, no one was going down with the legs. And what were they doing? They're going far too high, and the Hull players were just brushing them off. Got to improve.
Hull with first use of the football in this second half. Mickey Payer goes down, tackle number 2, 20 metres away from his own line. And Westerman just pops the ball up for his second row partner, Mark Minicello.
They do that very well, don't they? Better than on all sides, where Westerman, one of the back row forwards, passes it to another one. Either Ellis, Sneed kicks earlier in the tackle count.
He has kicked early, and the ball will probably stay in the field of play. It was a brilliant kick. Owens was under pressure, and that's good play from Owens, actually, to find Hanbury. The chase isn't bad from Hull, and Hanbury does okay in the end. Oh, it's been stolen. But I think the referee called that the tackle had been completed.
Did he called held, and the ball was then stolen, so penalty goes to Widnes.
Already tackled, succumb to the tackle.
Well, here's this. Look, Jack Owens, is his foot on the line?
No.
Oh.
Half an inch out, Phil.
What about that one there?
On his foot, lads.
Oh, no, still half an inch.
Quarter of an inch, maybe.
Used a fit carpet years ago.
Wait for it, Fecker.
They really have got to up the tempo. You know, the opening 20 minutes, Widnes looked in full control of this game.
Hands out!
And they need to get back on the horse, but as I say, silly penalties they gave away in that first 40 minutes, and their defence just fell apart.
Oh, mate. Goal 3.
Well, what have they got here in this, their first set of 6 with the ball in their possession? Hanbury offloads and gives it to Aaron Jeremiah. They know all about Jeremiah. He was a Hull player this time last year before coming across the country to Widnes. Mellor from dummy half finds Brown. Brown then to McGrath Luluai.
Go.
And Brown again, and he brings it back into centre field to Mellor. Mellor will kick wide and look for Jack Owens. All he finds, though, is Steve Michaels. 20-metre restart.
Yeah,
and
good.
Off they go.
Good play by Steve Michaels there. They went on the blind side, and then they always kick back onto the right.
Sensational run from him as well. Brilliant run.
Yeah, but he knew where to position himself for the kick, and that was the most important factor. And again, Hull, what they failed to do in the first 20, and in the opposition half.
Yes, they're on the front foot here with Westerman.
They've upped the tempo, and Widnes are allowing them yet again to take control. They're getting over the advantage line.
Sneed and Minicello. Important tackle by Joe Mellor.
Sneed's down, he's picked up an injury.
Houghton showed it to Palliasina, gave it to Payer. Free play coming up here for Widnes. Ball has arrived in the arms of a Hull player. And Jamie Shaw it is, I think. And so we've got a problem for Mark Sneed as we join Bill Arthur for the halftime news.
You're running through, you've got to hold the ball.
Widnes really disappointed with how that game got away from them after such a great start, put themselves 12-0 up, and then they just took the foot off the gas. Concentration slipped. Too many errors for the coach Dennis Betts' liking. They didn't complete their sets or end their sets the way he wanted. They got into attacking positions and didn't make the most of them. And defensively, they let too many points in. Fair to say that. And so they've got a bit of work to do, the Vikings, to regroup and re-establish their authority in this game. Authority that they had early on. Hull FC, as you can imagine, pretty delighted to come back like the way they have, to show great defensive resilience. They know the job is only half done. They're expecting a really fired up Viking side to come at them, as they are just now.
They are, with Manukafo, who gets them to the halfway line or just about. And Jeremiah was the dummy half. He gives it to McGrath Luluai.
4, move!
And he takes it forward into Hull territory on the 4th tackle. Jeremiah again, kicking early, over the top, an invitation for Owens to chase, and Stefan Marsh to chase. And that's very well done by Widnes, well tidied up by Shaw, but Widnes, the two boys were there in numbers.
Yeah, good work there by the hooker. That was tremendous. Jeremiah knew that the wing had was just left a little bit short. Backspin on the ball. Look how it just pops up there. Good work by Shaw though. He read it well.
It's a brilliant kick by Jeremiah. When you kick from dummy half, your winger, he's blindsided really. He can't see the dummy half shaping up to kick. He's looking at the regular kickers in Price and Sneed. Jeremiah took advantage of that, popped it in behind him, and it was just great defensive play from Jamie Shaw that's averted any disaster on that occasion. But what smart play from Jeremiah from dummy half.
Yes, it was. And here comes Patrick Arvan now for Widnes. That's a solid run from him. Yeah, the goal line drop out.
Eddie hasn't had many opportunities either. You know, the whole defence in the centres have been solid.
Hold. Goal 2, well back, mate.
Jeremiah controlling things at dummy half now. Finds Brown, he finds Mellor. Mellor looks for the runner, it was Hanbury. Owen is out there, but so too is Hanbury. He's wrestled into touch by tremendous defence from Michaels.
Yeah, great stuff. Never allowed him to offer the ball for the dummy and the step. Watch how he just waits until the very last moment. That's great defence.
You're Steve Michaels here, you're panicking. You're waiting for your defenders to come across Yeeman on this occasion. And it takes nerves of steel to be able to, as you said, Steve-O, bide your time, hold and wait. Not shoot out on Jack Owens anticipating the pass to him. For Michaels to do that showed full faith in any defenders coming on his inside and also faith in his own ability as a defender.
Big night for Steve Michaels, filling in for Fatuli Talanoa, who got the hat-trick at the Magic weekend. He missed the Magic, did Michaels, but he played in the previous 13 games. The last 5 of them were on the wing as well, so he's no stranger to the task, that's for sure. This is Jordan Thompson.
Well, he's playing in a team that defend like a top 8 side. They've been very impressive, haven't they? In the first half, Widnes had lots of chances to attack, but couldn't put more points on the board. Again, deep near their own line. They've made that look pretty comfortable on both sides. 1 or 2 offloads. Price throws a long pass out now to Whiting.
And he sets off on a run and then asks Lynham to have a go, and it was impossible really for Lynham. He managed to get the ball back into the field of play before it was over the line. And this is Manu Kafoa. It's not a free play, by the way. It's tackle 1. And there is the first tackle affected by the Hull defenders.
How do they go from 2 great offloads in a great attacking position, calling for the ball, to turning it over? That's cheap play from Hull FC. You're going to ask him for trouble. You're going to give Widnes ball down in this position with Brown and Mellor on the side.
A good pick up by Mellor on the half volley from Brown's pass. It was a bit short for him.
Yeah, he's playing well, Mellor. The most amazing thing, we put so many plaudits on the shoulders of Kevin Brown last week with beautiful dummies. We haven't seen one dummy from Brown tonight.
This is Whitley. He goes down, tackle number 4. Arvan waiting, dummy half. Galea, Brown, Jeremiah. Jeremiah against his former club, not this time.
Move now! Line, Hull! Line! Get on the line!
He'll have to play the ball, which he does to Ice. Oh, awful play the ball.
Knock on. That'll be the turnover.
Awful play the ball. He must be getting more and more frustrated as this evening wears on, Dennis Betts.
Well, he didn't look happy, and he's every right to feel that way. Shocking play the ball.
And here now is a penalty for hands in at the ruck by Widnes. It's going from bad to worse for the Vikings at the moment.
Well, the simple procedure of just getting yourself back into a good position, make sure you come back to the official. They've got to think, and they're just losing the basics.
Do you know what's hard in a team sport like this, Eddie? Is when you do have those 2 situations, they've had a chance to attack and got pushed over the side, they've made a mistake, not letting that negatively affect what happens over the next few minutes. They've got to defend well now, and then when they attack again, start again. Wipe the slate clean, off they go.
Minicello goes down on that tackle, that's the second, but they're deep in Widnes territory here with Price. And Price, that did look a little bit forward, the crowd on this far near side insisting it was, but Jamie Shaw came to Widnes' rescue with the knock-on.
Yeah, and it must be troubling times for Dennis Betts, mainly due to the fact that, that they're just allowing Hull to get over that advantage. They're moving and then stopping the Widnes defence. They're so confused. Luckily, that man lost possession.
Well, he ultimately coughed the ball up, but a little nod to Manisi Manikafoa and the pressure that he put on Leon Price. Big front rower, willing to chase from the inside and pressurise a ball player. Don't just let Leon Price sit back and pick his passes. Manikafoa on that occasion rushed Leon Price's pass, and I believe subsequent to that, Jamie Shaw knocked the ball on. Here we go, Leon Price going across field, and Manikafoa flicks it forward. That puts Westerman under pressure, and Jamie Shaw after that.
Chris Clarkson battles his way over the halfway line for Widnes. Manikafoa, I think he's just taken his leave for the time being. Stefan Marsh now with the mistake under pressure from Yeaman. It's the zero tackle this, so they'll bring it back now.
Yeah.
It was a free play.
That was good work though, wasn't it, by Kirk Yeaman? Widnes trying to get the ball out wide on this right-hand side. Bang. Straight into it.
2 offences there, the referee says. Forward pass, there it was, and the knock on, and there that was.
Is that a dangerous tackle? Lifting.
I think he's released him before he got into a bad position. He managed to get his hands down and stop him, so that'll probably save him a bit. But, he needs to be careful.
I think that's a dangerous tackle. It's a very dangerous tackle. That would normally be penalised. I don't know.
Well, I don't think so, because he's come down on his arm rather than his head. That's what we look for on a dangerous tackle.
Yeah.
Thompson over halfway.
2, Aaron.
Now, if Hull can get their kicking game sorted out, they can keep turning Widnes around and around, and I'm afraid the home side will become even more and more frustrated as this game continues.
Kept hold of it. Wait.
Houghton. Here comes Westerman now.
But look how easy they're getting over that advantage line.
It was a decent tackle by Jeremiah, nonetheless. That's a good ball from Sneed to Minicello. And he's keeping going. Minicello, eventually they get him down, but only just. Here's the last tackle for Hull. It's with Sneed. He stabs the ball forward. He gets it himself, Sneed. Brilliant try from Mark Sneed. Absolutely brilliant try. Individual effort from Mark Sneed. Well, formerly with Salford, of course, but he arrived here from a loan spell at Castleford last year. They paid big money for him at Hull FC, and he's repaying it now. And that was a wonderful individual try from Mark Sneed.
It's all about the gentle touch, and this was superb. But again, was there anybody going to put any pressure on him? They just let him run the race. Look, anybody there? No. He put it through. He knew that there were a few big fellas out there. Phil Joseph was one of them. But that is...
Parts for the engine, but they've lacked the spark plugs. Tonight we're starting to see with Leon Price and Mark Sneed. But if they fire, the rest of the team can defend and they can score points and look like a team that we will see at the end of the year.
Well, Lee Radford will tell you that they have started to find form now that he's got virtually a full squad from which to choose. Ellis, Sneed, Westerman, Payer, they've all now come back. They're all in good form. And this fellow here, from bang in front, can convert his own 4 into 6. And it's going to be a long road back for Widnes the way they've started this second half. Sneed adds 2 points. It's Widnes 12, Hull 20. Vital game for these two sides. Must win. Somebody don't lose.
Desperate for the 2 points, as you say, Eddie. But look how they hung off him. Not one went out there to try to put the pressure, and he would have probably gone for the kick in the corner or maybe the offload. But he took the route, came off well.
I said at half-time that Mark Sneed looked like he wouldn't kick snow off a rope. Of course, was referring to off the tee. He missed 2 conversions we'd normally expect him to get. But his kicking in general play has been exceptional. And on that occasion, I wouldn't criticise the Widnes defence as much as applaud the touch from Mark Sneed. Any longer and Rhys Hanbury snaps that up. He didn't fool the fullback. He just dinked it far enough behind the defensive line that he could regather himself, but wouldn't get it near the fullback, put on a right foot step and crashed over. The touch on that kick was beautiful.
It was, and Hull have scored 20 unanswered points ever since Widnes streaked into a 12-0 lead after the first 10 minutes. It's not how you start,
Okay, Danny.
it's how you finish.
Spot on.
Wait,
And
boys.
boy, it looks likely that the whole side are going to finish with even more points. Oh, out on the full.
Danny Houghton with the mistake. Just overcooked it.
Yeah, but the idea is good. And Lee Radford, the coach, won't be too upset about the fact that he knows that the ingenuity from this fella, Danny Houghton. Little wink and saying, okay, fellas, let you down on that occasion, but boy, doesn't he give you 100%, Danny Houghton.
And they know they can win on the road.
Hold on,
Huddersfield,
lads.
Wigan, Warrington and St Helens.
Wait
They
for
have
the call.
won on
Okay.
their travels this year already.
That was, though, let your opponents off the hook kick. You've just scored a try. You could have trapped them again near the other end.
Move,
It
Danny.
has, you know, at the highest
Square,
level,
square.
you can't let your opponents off when they're on the ropes.
You're pretty good at calling results, Phil, early on in the game. How do you see this one
Second,
go?
okay,
I'm
man.
struggling. I can see a Widnes comeback in this game.
Well, before the game, I looked at all the information and it showed that Kevin Brown was the star player in Super League in recent weeks, but we haven't really seen him being able to unlock this whole defence. There's only Scott DeRoe and Danny Brough set up more tries this year for any other player, and Kevin Brown hasn't been on the field a lot, but the passes tonight, all of them seem to have been covered by those shirts that the whole players are wearing.
Yes, they're up very quickly, and Phil Joseph's now trying to find a way through them, but they're defending brilliantly at the moment. Hull.
Go.
Mellor finds Brown, he hoists it high. Well claimed by Lynham.
Move.
Yeah, it was,
Dodson on the top of him.
yeah, it was awkward. I think he sort of lost it.
Surrender.
It was a high kick from Brown.
Stand. 2.
He just put his body on the line at the vital moment.
Ellis for Hull FC.
Move.
55
Go,
minutes
3.
gone. Price. He's
Four,
looked in the
move.
mood since the 10th minute, hasn't
Go.
he?
Yeah.
4,
Quick play the ball. Houghton.
It's okay.
Houghton still. He's got plenty of support down this left-hand side. Took the tackle. Another quick play the ball. Widnes aren't slowing them down. Great pass.
Still 5.
Houghton. It's on the last though, so he hacks the kick downfield. Arvan's underneath it. And he then gives it to Hanbury. Bit of space for Hanbury maybe.
That was good play by the fullback Hanbury as well. He could see the high bomb right into Patrick Arvan, and well, it looked as though Gareth Ellis was saying that maybe Hanbury had picked up a knock there, or maybe he was, he's crouched down.
The last play in that set wasn't great from the Hull FC side. The kick from Danny Houghton could have been better. Shouldn't have really landed in his hands. But the reason they rolled so freely down the field was because of Gareth Ellis's getting through the line, finding his hands and knees, elbows and knees, and getting a quick play of the ball, allowing the rest of his teammates to pour in behind him. He's having a very strong game in attack and in defence.
Here it is again,
Backwards on
all
3.
over Patrick Arvan. The ball though is shifted from Arvan. Not the best pass again. Willie Isa drops on the loose ball. Holds on to possession for Widnes. Here is Brown. Brown will float the kick in towards the corner. This will skip its way over the touchline though.
Well, at least he's put them in a position where they can hopefully get their defence sorted out. But over the last 30 minutes, they've just given it away. The defence, they're not moving up in as a unit.
I think we saw a few offloads there anyway, they were keeping it alive. But you tend to see teams doing that when they can't go forward. This whole defence tonight has been brilliant. They've missed very few tackles. And when they're hitting the Widnes players, they are hurting them.
So both sides just having a breather while this scrum forms.
Heads in, back row. Out.
They've beaten Leeds and Batley in the cup here.
1. Move. Go.
And they've won on grass at Wakefield last week, the week before last, and at Newcastle
2.
in the Magic weekend. But they're finding Hull one heck of a challenge tonight. And this ground that hasn't been too kind to Hull over the recent past is okay for them tonight, just as it was last year. Big win for them on this ground last year. As Payer takes them over halfway again.
4.
And again, they're controlling things out there. Will they kick early? No, they go to the last.
Thompson to Price, and Price then to Shaw. He's seen a gap as Jamie Shaw. He has support outside him. He gives the pass to Lynham. Is this a hat-trick for Lynham? Hat-trick in the first game at the KC Stadium in April. Is it hat-tricks home and away? Yes, it is. Tom Lynham with the try. And is the sleeping giant of East Yorkshire finally waking from its slumbers?
Well, the fans seem to feel that way. That was a good team effort. Jamie Shaw showed immense speed out on that right-hand side. The visiting fans, they've enjoyed, well, not the first 20 minutes, but ever since then, it's been one-way traffic. We keep talking about the wonderful defence from the visitors and shocking defence by Widnes. Neat little run around there. It was good work between Price and the fullback Jamie Shaw, and Shaw offloaded just at the vital moment. He knew that Lynham was setting up for the hat-trick. Look at this. Wait, just enough. Good bend, good finish. They're playing some attractive football at Hull.
You're right, they had a confidence boost last week when they scored 8 tries at Newcastle. They've managed to make sure they continue to defend as well as they have in the first half of the season, and now they're starting to attack from a little bit deeper. Last week they scored a long-range try, which in the end Jordan Rankin scored, but Leon Price set it up. He was instrumental again in finding Jamie Shaw, and this guy on the wing must be one of the best finishers in this competition this season.
That's his 3rd try hat-trick of the campaign. 1 home and away against Widnes, and another one against the Castleford Tigers.
It's amazing to think about as we watch this kick here from Mark Sneed. Tom Lynham was playing rugby union just a few seasons ago. None of the 12 rugby league clubs in the Super League had him on the register. None of the division teams below him had him training with us. There must be some talent out there still undiscovered.
Time on.
Sneed with his conversion attempt. He's missed it though. So 24-12. Widnes 2 converted tries behind now.
Again, you see so many of the Widnes players not going for the legs. That was Lynham's number 1. And then we get the second one. Good build-ups. Mark Sneed, beautiful kick over the corner. The plunge into the corner, and this is the best of them all. Mainly due to the fact that he held the ball and fended off, went into the corner. He'll remember that for a long, long time. I know someone else that might remember it as well. That's Dennis Betts, the Widnes coach. He's seen his side take control for the first 20 minutes and then just completely fall apart.
Hull, boys, Hull.
They have, but I think you have to credit Hull.
Absolutely, they're throwing plenty at them, Eddie. That left edge from Widnes was ripped apart on that occasion.
Here's another penalty that goes Hull's way.
This will be a huge help. But Dennis will be concerned with how easy Hull FC ran at them. Just ran a couple of players at decoy and caught them out. This occasion, High and Minicello, who's been brilliant, carried the ball very hot, very strongly throughout the game. Gil Dudson penalised there.
Yes, Dudson, the man who
On his foot.
put the arm right into the chin. So Hull will come again from inside Widnes territory, and Liam Watts with the drive forward for them. They've just hovered around, haven't they, this year? Well, they've had to really after the dreadful start to the season they've made, but they've come under the radar, Hull.
Yeah, I think the combination took a while, you know, between Leon Price and Mark Sneed.
Abdul there trying to get his legs clear.
But
Here's Houghton. Look where they are, Hull. It's given the ball there to Ellis.
Short.
Move.
Only just.
Don't reach round there.
Desperate defence from Widnes.
No, it wasn't
Price. And Sneed with a drop goal attempt, charged down by Phil Joseph, back to 0. So Shaw just gives it to Whiting.
No panic if they want to go for the one. They tried before, got the bounce. Just drive it towards those sticks, fellas.
And that's what Watts is doing, and he turns and gives it to Sneed. Here is Yeeman.
2, move.
And again, Widnes defence, wait to see what's coming at them.
Stack of tackles in the bag here. Sneed, he's almost got the freedom of the stadium at the moment. So is Price. And over the top it goes from Shaw to Lynham. Lynham looking for try number 4. Arvan says no, not this time.
3, move.
They've lost a bit of ground there. They're 20 metres away with Jordan Thompson again.
4.
Holds on, takes the tackle from Lloyd White.
Go.
Houghton finds Watts again. Watts takes it to the line, gives it to Abdul. Abdul bounces off Marsh.
This is where they should go.
Well, Sneed is back. He's back and in centre field. It'll arrive at Sneed, and Sneed goes for it, and Sneed kicks it this time.
Is he the modern day Lee Breers? I think he's similar frame to when Lee Breers played for the Warrington Wolves. And he has that little cheeky play in him, doesn't he, every now and again. He's put the drop goal over, and that's certainly, I think, the first one was charged down by Phil Joseph. It was a great effort from him. It gave them 6 more players. And he looks calm here, doesn't he? He knows there's going to be a team of players coming at him. He places it between the posts. And that 1 point will probably take the 2 points home with him.
Onside, lads.
Yes, it means that Widnes now are 3 scores away. And your comparison with Bridge is well made. I'm just wondering, I've got thousands of Lee Breers is well made. I've got thousands of Lee Breers for Britain badges.
Can we have them altered? Yeah,
Can
maybe.
we get it's almost the same length of surname, isn't it?
You know what? He may well turn out to be, if not an international player, he could well be the saviour of Hull. They've waited for a number of years, you know, for a good side. And what they've needed is a half-back who can hopefully direct the team. Leon Price is looking good alongside him. But Mark Steed, a lot of faith put in him. So far in this game, he's looking the goods.
Well, he proved last year at Castleford what he could do when he was sent out there on loan. Salford couldn't hang on to him. Adam Pearson wrote the big cheque for him, and here he is.
Well, he might have been the Salford marquee player if things had been a little bit different.
Yes, absolutely. Whiting just thumps the ball over the top of all the Widnes defenders. And it'll go dead, but they won't worry about that, Hull.
No, not with a 25-12 lead. Just get him down there. And the tactics from Lee Ratford has been outstanding. It's amazing, isn't it? Early in the season, they were all after Mr. Ratford's head. There he is, calm, cool and collected. And why shouldn't he be with the scoreline? He would have been nervous the opening 20 minutes. Widnes showed some real quality and class. And I'm afraid it's disintegrated from there on in.
That's my predicted comeback looking now. They have fallen flat. Well, I thought they'd have a try or two left in them, Widnes Vikings. Comeback maybe not enough to win, but I thought they'd throw a bit more spark. They have been flat compared to the side that we saw at Magic Weekend.
They have, but this is a different defence than the one they were facing at the Magic.
You know, that's a great point. I never saw Lee Radford score many tries or set many up, but what he did was defend very well. And his team in the first half, when they were under pressure at their own line, held out the Widnes team enough to keep themselves alive in the contest.
Play on.
They seem to be, I don't know, they seem to be grabbing at shirts, Widnes. They're getting to the man with the ball and just a fraction too late, and it seems desperation stuff.
Eddie, I said it early in the piece on that last quarter of an hour in that first half, and I said they've got to go for the legs, they've got to tackle. If you're going to stop the offload, make sure someone goes for the legs, puts them to the ground. It's been shocking defence from Widnes.
Hull have been helped by the fact in the second half they've had a lot more ball than Widnes. This is perhaps the last chance now for Widnes to win this match. They need to score in this next 6 players. The crowds are trying their best. The Widnes Viking fans are up on their feet. Is there any energy left in the feet of the Widnes team? Again, another potential lifting.
Well, an offload by Liam Watts too.
And you could just see that the hooker, Danny Houghton, just took his eyes off the football. You'd be disappointed with that. Minicello, hard worker. We mentioned early in the piece that, you know, the back 3 from Hull, Ellis, Minicello and Westerman, it's a very, very good combination.
He's incredibly strong, isn't he? He can either run straight at the defenders in front of him or crab across the field, swatting off attempted tackles and breaking open defence.
A Gold Coast original.
Yeah, an old teammate of mine.
Minicello. Well, you were there for 5 minutes, weren't you?
Training mate, I should say. I think I saw him on the first day.
The first and last, wasn't it? Here now is Stephen Marsh. Phil Clark's right. They've got to score here, Widnes, to give themselves any hope in the last 15 minutes. Hanbury finds Mellor. The charging run comes in from McGrath Luluai. The Widnes crowd are getting enthused. Is this the moment? Brown lays the pass off. Isa. They get a penalty for offside.
Well, they knew, didn't they, that Kevin Brown had to be closed down as soon as he got the possession. That put them up and offside quickly, but just signed a new contract this week, Kevin Brown. Here's the time here now. He can show that he's worth it and somehow get his team over this line.
Gallier with the first.
It's been amazing, you know. Kevin Brown not only has been shut down, but he really hasn't asked the questions, especially like he did up in Newcastle last week. They've got to be over for a try, surely.
No, he's held up. He is held up. It's short, says the referee, Alex Gerrard. So he'll just stand and he'll play the ball to Lloyd White. Short pass from him. No way through. This is wonderful goal line defence from Hull.
Goal 3.
Here's the engineer-in-chief. He finds Hanbury, but Price is right in his face again.
Hold the line, boys. Hold. Go.
They've survived 4. Can they survive 2 more?
Touch
the ball
backwards.
bobbles everywhere.
Surrender.
And it's picked up by Jordan Abdul.
First, get back, go.
Well, that could be the compliment to your defence, Eddie. They've had a couple of pops from close range, came nowhere. Well, we'll see how the referee rules this. But the kick on the 4th tackle shows they were finding it very difficult to get through this resolute Hull FC defence.
Well, he feels that there was a knock on, but I thought clearly it came off the knee.
And that was Phil Bentham's decision. He decided it was off the knee.
It was a good hit. Second hit as well, and that would be classified as a knock on anyway. From the witness player.
Move. Wait.
Well, you'd have to say, Eddie, that this black and white, the Hull side, have fully deserved their 2 points, 2 vital points. But at least Widnes has got to show to their coach, Dennis Betts, that they're capable of at least scheming something.
That's a booming kick down the middle. It's going to run dead. Oh no, it isn't. It's hit the post padding, so Widnes must run it from their own line with Reece Hanbury. But the chase again is marvellous from Hull.
Move now, Leon.
Yeah, they've got the basics right. Good solid defence, good combination with the 2 halfbacks, Price and Sneed.
2. Move.
Kicking game has been a lot better than Widnes.
Whitley.
3. Richard.
Arvan waits. Price is down. Is he hurt? No, he just gets up to his feet a bit slowly though.
Move.
As Arvan takes Widnes to the halfway line. We'll play it there. Lloyd White. Good run. Solid. With 3 round him.
Hold.
Chris Clarkson to Kevin Brown. High kick again from Brown. Into a phalanx really of purple jerseys. And Steve Michaels trying to run the ball away through 3 burly defenders.
That's as average a kick as Leon Price came up with and Mark Sneed came up with in the first half. To reiterate the point, Kevin Brown, in the context of this game, will need to challenge a lot more than just whacking it up with 11 minutes to go, giving a relatively easy catch to the back 3 of Hull FC.
And the crucial thing is also, I mean, they're missing so many tackles, Widnes. I'd hate to see what the count is, but Hull are getting such quick play, the balls.
Well, it makes it easy. You could see there that Danny Houghton, there was no one there in front of him.
That's not so quick as Watts gets to his feet and plays it to Houghton.
Charge down.
Oh, that's charged down. Oh, and he can pick it up. Can Hanbury and run this ball away? Can they, Widnes? We'll try to here with Owens. But again, as soon as they get the ball almost within the blink of an eye, there's a Hull defender on them.
Yeah, good technique in the defensive line as well. You can see the ricochet. Work by Hanbury to in the position. He's tried his damnedest, but you know, the first 15 minutes, Widnes were utilising dummy runners. They were switching the ball back on the inside. They were bringing the fullback Reece Hanbury. Oh, this didn't look good.
It's very serious, doesn't it, for Kevin Brown? Just hope he's okay.
Has he got a bang on the head? Is this a concussion problem?
Came from here. Looked like he's still got it there.
Oh, he connects with the knee. Accidental.
He does need to leave the field of play, I think.
Yeah, and there's nothing untoward in regards to Richard Whiting.
The worry is the restart here for Widnes. I mean, we hope he's okay, and that's the main priority now. If he's deemed okay or he has to leave the field, the restart be with Hull FC. If a Kevin Brown knock on, it's always unfortunate when you see a player lose the ball in these circumstances. Knee collecting with his head. But Stewart,
I don't think Phil Bentham's picked that up. He's already told the Hull players the next tackle. He's going to continue with the play of the ball. So Widnes.
3, pal. 3.
Well, you think he's going to leave the field, don't we, eventually? We've talked, just going back to Magic this week, last weekend, and the effect that a win has. When you look back over the records, teams winning in that Magic weekend seem to get a boost. I think playing on a bigger stage in front of a bigger crowd than they normally perform has given the teams the lift. Now, both of these went in on the back of winning up there at Newcastle. Only one could do it again today, but Hull really, I think as the game's won on, the smelling of a confident aftershave, and it really does smell good to me from the side.
it smells like yours, David Beckham, you got on, isn't it?
Well, Lee Radford just watching as Widnes' main playmaker. His day started superbly with the announcement of a 2-year extension to his contract. It ends with him being taken from the field with his side beaten and with a concussion problem that obviously needs sorting out. And I don't think we'll see Kevin Brown again tonight.
Well, there's no point, is there, Eddie, trying to put him out there. This game is gone, and realise it. Let's hope that it's going to be A-OK. But maybe just a touch of pride from the Widnes outfit shows something for their coach. It's been very lacklustre.
Stefan Marsh reached the last tackle here for Widnes. Mellor, high and angled down the left-hand side.
Not back, not back. Play on.
The referee says play on. It must have been a Widnes player that knocked the ball back from that high kick from Mellor.
Wait.
So Ellis will play it.
And that's been the problem as well. Widnes, as I said, in the first 20 minutes, Eddie, they were very competent. There was always dummy runners, bringing the ball back on the inside. All they've developed now has just been, let's drive 5 and put the ball up in the air. Been very poor.
9 minutes to go. Hull are just 9 minutes away from a priceless win. What will happen tomorrow between Warrington and the Catalan Dragons? Find out at 7:30 Sky Sports 1. That's another vital game in the race for the top 8. Hull will be in the top 8 tonight. They'll leapfrog Widnes, and importantly, and maybe at the end of the season, crucially, they've got this game in hand.
And the game in hand, am I right in saying that's against Wakefield, the bottom side? You'd have to imagine.
Oh, hang on, Brian Smith's coming over.
Oh yeah, but giving themselves a proper attitude and a full commitment. There's a restart, an optional restart. If it finds a sideline, Widnes start the ball again here at this part of the field. So it was a clever way for Patrick Arvan to gain 30 metres. But they obviously need to form the scrum and get the ball from it.
I honestly think all bets are off, don't you, with Wakefield, until we see what happens. You never know. He'll either be the Messiah who saves them, or he'll the man who say, well, I couldn't have done anything in such a short space of time.
Well, yeah, as we see this Patrick Arvan kick, very, very clever thinking. I mean, saving Wakefield will be, even if they go down into the middle 8, we're bringing them back up again. So he's got plenty of games in hand, and a fresh voice, fresh face, fresh ideas at the club might be what they need. There's also something else the players need. They need a bit of a rocket, because some of the performances they put in for the squad that they have. I know it's a low salary cap, but their players are a lot better than they're showing.
Here's a chance for Whitley now, and he gets it wide to Hanbury. He finds Arvan.
But again, we see the whole defence. They scramble across. Not surprisingly, that man, Gareth Ellis, well, he's run his blood to water tonight.
And they're slowing Widnes down at the play the ball as well, something the opposition are not doing to them.
Hold.
White will play it here. Finds White, who gives it to Mellor. Mellor then looks for the runners. It's Heremiah. Heremiah to Hanbury. Kick to the corner, looking for Arvan.
Too strong.
And only finds the touch in goal. Frustration for Dennis Betts.
It hasn't been a good night for the Widnes coach. He would have been very, very pleased with the opening 20-25 minutes. But there on end, that all the basics have just gone out the window.
On his foot, Widnes.
A lack of communication has also been a problem. You can't say that about the whole outfit.
Move!
They really have worked hard as a good team.
Goal, 1.
Talking to each other. And the wingers coming in and taking a lot of pressure off the forwards.
I bet Lee Radford, the Hull coach, asked the bus driver to slow down driving on, because they'll be enjoying this part of the season. You know, the one thing that following sports taught me is that you need to be able to ride the highs and the lows. When we went and watched them lose to Hull KR at Easter, 20 points to 6, they hit rock bottom. They really did, and the Yeoman now through the gap.
Yes, and he's invited the runners to go for it. Jamie Shaw, but Stefan Marsh picks it up for Widnes. But then he's just taken over the line by Steve Michaels.
But then being able to recover from a heavy defeat, regather your troops, keep the confidence in the side, and manage to maintain the focus of being where you want to be at the end of the season. They've recovered. Will this now be the 8th win in the last 10 Super League games? In the last 10 games, League and Cup, of course. That's a pretty amazing record after what happened at home at Easter.
I wonder if that will be the defining moment of their season, that awful defeat they suffered over Easter to the Robins.
Is that off his knees down here?
So a short goal line dropout.
Backwards.
Here is Yeoman. And here goes Michaels. It's a forward pass, though. It's a forward pass.
Well, at least for once, the home side went down low to stop the winger. Yeah, just drifted out slightly, just enough.
Well, we've seen Kevin Brown go off the field. Let's get some news of him, Bill.
Yeah, Kevin Brown's in the Widnes Vikings dressing room, having been led off. He got a bang to the head, as we saw. Knee just catching him in this tackle from Richard Whiting. All accidental, of course, but Kevin Brown shaken up, not knocked out or anything like that, but obviously won't be returning. And it just about sums up the Vikings night, doesn't it? We were talking about him, this new 2-year deal, his influence on the side. And Widnes haven't had any influence on this game since about the 20th minute.
Well, they're having it tonight, as I say, a frustration for Dennis Betts. But this, you have to credit Hull, the way they're defending, they're flying into the tackles, they're slowing Widnes down. They are tenacious. That's exactly the word, Steve-O. You're right.
They are, and they've worked as a unit. They're working for each other.
No sign of it in the first quarter of an hour.
No, they looked a little bit lost. Maybe, you know, sometimes when you get off the coach. It's
gone to worse.
Yeah. Is it a free play?
It's play on. It's a free play. It's Sneed. He's now in touch.
Yeah.
So they bring it back.
What a game this guy's had. Well, he started well. Reece Hambury.
Yeah, he's been completely overshadowed, though, by the likes of Ellis, Minicello, Westerman, Sneed, as you say. Price has played his part.
Yeah. But it looked all so good, didn't it? I mean, it was the fullback Hambury that created the first 2 tries. They looked in total control, and to see them just absolutely capitulate must be confusing for their coach Dennis Betts, who before the game was adamant that the team was up for this.
Well, they were, but they just didn't score enough points in the first half when it was their turn to have the ball. And the whole team, they are on a bit of a road trip. They went to Newcastle, they won. They've been to Widnes, they've won. The next 2 games from here are Catalan away and the Leeds Rhinos at Headingley. Now, there would have been a time maybe where the trips would have daunted them. I don't think that will be the case at the moment. They'll be relishing the fact, almost as an underdog, but with a growing confidence now going into matches. Starting to show there's a different attacking flair, although that's a lapse in concentration now. This game in the last few minutes just petering out somewhat.
It is a bit. Yeah, it's a big period of the season coming up for Hull FC. Those league games, as you say, the match against the Rhinos at Headingley just a week before the cup tie against the same opposition, this time at the KC Stadium. The next 3 matches could define Hull's 2015 campaign.
Let's go.
Well,
Owens.
They'll feel confident, Eddie, if they play like this. Look at the numbers and getting back.
Move.
And that comes about because they are super fit. You've got to say that about Hull. Neat little chip over the top, but they've got the numbers there.
A bit wasted that by Jack Owens. Abdul just picks it up easily. I know he had to try something. He had to try something different, but it was a losing race, really.
And that gives you some indication how strong the whole defence has been, because all they've done, Widnes, is basically go out the 5, then put the kick in and hope. You don't win much with hope.
Houghton gets the ball away to Jordan Thompson.
4, move, Phil.
Thompson, a 2-year contract extension for him last month. So he's at Hull till the end of 2017, like Mark Sneed, another former Castleford player.
Wait, go.
Jeremiah. And Abdul just thumps the ball into touch, just winding the clock down.
Trying to say to the referee, hit one of them, hit one of them. Came off a Widnes player, but I don't see how it changed direction.
No, it wasn't played at, Phil Bentham said.
Time off.
Yeah, but it's a smart option. You know, the game's well and truly in the bag. No, I didn't know that was coming. Ball played the man.
He'd be delighted. And he shakes hands with Richard Horn, who seems to have been around the scene in East Yorkshire for years and years and years. And big congratulations to all the players who've come off the field. Leon Price, Mickey Payer amongst them.
Well, we said that
an Old Faithful rings out.
And yeah, and why not? Because it's been an outstanding performance in defence, and of course leading the way is the skipper Gareth Ellis, 35 tackles.
Oh, boys.
And 34 years of age, Gareth Ellis, but playing as well as ever this year. Great performance from them.
It has is. But remember before the game, I said that the experience of Leon Price, Gareth Ellis, and of course the hooker Danny Houghton. I mean, Houghton, as again, is gone over the 40 mark in tackles, 44 in fact. Just shows you how they work hard.
Stefan Marsh beaten by sheer weight of numbers as much as the tackle
Be a
from
penalty.
Sneed, and there's the penalty.
Trying to get round the front, aren't you? Holding.
He's a cheeky player. He knows that the game's over. Just slow things down.
Blue White, we're in the last 30 seconds of the match.
Wait here, lads.
Fuller going home with a priceless victory, an important victory, a vital victory. And our van will try and give his supporters something to cheer, but I don't think he's going to get the decision here. Is he? The referee wants a word with the touch judge. I think there's a hint of a forward pass.
Yep. Okay, whoa.
He's going to give this, is
Time
it?
off.
No, he's going upstairs.
They can't go for a
Got
forward
no
pass.
try.
That's right.
Check in touch.
It's a foot in touch, maybe. Nothing wrong with the grounding, I don't think. And with 7 seconds remaining,
Well, it looks okay there.
this is the one.
Yeah,
There it is.
on the whitewash. Little bit turned down.
No consolation for Widnes and Patrick Arvan then. Tries chalked off. I think that'll probably do us. The siren will go any second. In fact, there it goes in the background as we see Patrick Arvan with his foot in touch. Big smiles for Lee Radford. Boy, what a difference 10 games makes. Over Easter, he was bereft and his team looked in a mess. But he's worked hard with the players he's got. His stars have come back, and now they're well and truly in the 8 at the expense of the Widnes Vikings. Brian and John, is the giant coming to life?
Well, Eddie, the Hull FC fans that travel over here and the ones that are back over in Hull watching it will certainly hope so. Just a 2-point lead for the visitors at half-time, and that was extended with an absolutely crucial try scored by one of the most influential players on the field, Mark Sneed. Off the game, off his game, off the tee. But John, his open field kicking game was exceptional, particularly in the lead up to his try.
I can't help but think it's one of the major reasons why Hull moved to sign him. He was doing this sort of thing for Castleford last year. He scored a very similar try where he regathered his own kick against Salford down at the Jungle last season. So I'll have a look at the build-up first, because there's some common themes here. Sneed, Minicello, working through the line, great feet there. Now, Sneed is at the top of your screen. He just disappeared from view there for a second. But he was screaming at somebody to organise the line, so I don't think at any point he's pre-planned this. That's what makes these players great. I'm just highlighting for you here, and we'll run it on very slowly, because it's the deft touch. It's a beautiful touch off the outside of the boot. Superb try. Okay. There's not an awful lot you can say about that, other than to pick up again and reference what you said in commentary, is that he's not beaten and done Reece Hambury there. Reece Hambury's not out of position, there's nobody out of position. Sometimes you just got to credit the play.
Absolutely. Hull FC's edge defence had trouble in the first half, particularly in the first 2 minutes, or first 10 minutes, when Jack Owens and Matt Whitley scored. On this occasion, it was Widnes' edge defence, unable to deal with Jamie Shaw. His influence in this play, John.
Again, they've done what Widnes did to them in the first half. Jamie Shaw is sitting in here, in behind the ruck. Looks like he's not up to much, but he's actually on a pre-planned play that'll find him on the outside. The arrow's not indicative of the direction he's travelling, but he'll find him on the outside of Leon Price as a pass option. So I'm going to show this for you at slow speed.
It looks like there's plenty of Widnes
They
defenders.
have got numbers. It's the setup play that does them. So at that point here, just before they pass, I'll pick up the setup. Thompson, you've got Abdul on the lead line, and you've got Leon Price there in the back. You can already see what Jamie Shaw's doing. Jamie Shaw's made a move here, and he's just sitting in here. He'll be ready for the second phase. Now we'll switch it to the other camera, because now you can see what's happening. Abdul here is sitting on his heels. This is the ball player, Jordan Thompson again. Shaw's lurking around the back here. He's going to make an arcing move here. And you can see what's happening. Whitley will make a move inwards because he feels like he's out of time and out of numbers. And Jamie Shaw ends up on the outside of Kevin Brown, who comes in turn on Ellis, and then a lovely burst of space. And doesn't he hold on to the ball just long enough to give Lynham the time to finish in the corner for his hat-trick? A very well taken hat-trick too.
Yep, 2 tries in the first half, 1 in the second half for Tom Lynham. OK, you know Hull FC are going to take you on down the middle. It's about being able to arrest that. Widnes on this occasion weren't. They did it at times in the first half, but in times in the second half, Hull FC rolled down the middle. Was that where it was lost for the home side?
I think ultimately yes, and this is something that Hull have been doing really well in the recent weeks. Let's show you an example of it again, and once again it starts with Minicello. I think Ranstead close for man of the match. He's the catalyst. He's the one who generates all the momentum out of Widnes line, and they never recover. This is a gaining momentum 101 for any team really.
Standout player today, Minicello?
I think so, yeah. I think him and Ellis were superb. We did highlight them before the game, and they've really come into some form, and it's no secret why the rest of Hull's form has gone. They're real strike players, but they're also get-goers for the Hull FC team. And of course, there's all the hallmarks there in that 30-second piece of footage I've seen as a team getting themselves out of trouble, building momentum and putting the opposition on a back foot. Good win, well taken. Not an awful lot Widnes could have done about that in the second half.
Better than a good win, really. A huge win in the context of the season for Hull FC. They did say it was a season-defining game for them. Who was their man of the match? You can find out now. He's talking to Bill.
Well, that was some turnaround because you were in the game for the first 15-20 minutes, were you?
No, we didn't turn up switched on, to be fair, so we did well to come back into it. We're good character from everyone, and I think once we got in the lead we stayed pretty strong and did our job.
Looked like a side, once you got over that start, looked like a side with confidence.
Yeah, we are. We're playing with a lot. Our middles are doing a big job for us, and it's giving us backs a lot of free space to play in, so it's enjoyable to play at the minute.
Well, especially as you got 8 from 10 now, and you're in the top 8.
Yeah, it's a good run that we're on. We just need to carry it on now and hopefully keep ourselves in the 8.
Well done on a man of the match performance tonight, Mark.
Yes, thank you.
And well done on a hat-trick for Tom Lynham. Your turn, Tom. Second hat-trick, third hat-trick of the season, second hat-trick against the Widnes Vikings. But I bet you enjoyed that tackle on Patrick Garvan right at the end just as much.
Yeah, I needed that. I had a bit of an embarrassing performance last week at the Magic Weekend. Made some sloppy decisions on the end, so it's not all about scoring tries. It's great, you know, when you can stop the other wingers. That was really pleasing for me there at the end.
But it was hard to see that coming, the way you started this game.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest places to come, Widnes. You know, it's a different pitch, you're not used to it, it's a hostile atmosphere. And I thought, you know, to turn it around like we did, we were 12-0 down, and to do that, it was really pleasing, showed a lot of character and team spirit there. 15 tries for the season, you're just behind Joe Burgess in terms of Super League tries scored. Are you conscious of that? Nah, it's not about the individual accolades. Obviously, it's nice scoring tries, but you know, the 2 points here is massive for us. I'd much rather score no tries, but the team win.
Well done tonight, Tom.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, Tom Lynham, hat-trick home and away against the Widnes Vikings, and this victory for them with a home and away double against the Widnes Vikings, the first in a decade. OK, Widnes haven't been in the top flight each and every one of those 10 years, but a significant night nonetheless for the men from the KC Stadium. And a season-defining month or so ahead for them, but this is a big step in the right direction.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of the Super League on Sky Sports.
What are you responsible for?
Persuading loads of Bolshe teenagers to eat their greens.
23 tons?
And 5 foot of rubber.
I'm responsible for doing the school run twice, daily.
Making sure the pitch is fast and consistent throughout the season.
Sterilising the things the dentist sticks in your mouth.
Keeping sticky fingers off these.
Tesla.
At Wonga, we're responsible for lending to thousands of hard-working people just like you. Wonga, credit for the real world.
You can fight all of these with one toothpaste. Colgate Total. Complete protection for a healthy mouth. Colgate Total, #1 toothpaste.